What's up everyone? This episode is for all of you out there trying to improve your SEO. This episode is about how to improve the SEO, the search engine optimization on your homepage. Let's go. So everyone, I have been trying to do more SEO related videos. I know I'm getting a good response to them. I know you guys are liking them. I want you at the end of this episode to tell me if you got value from this one by hitting that like button or dislike button. I really want to know so I can keep improving and offering you guys more of that value and more of those tips you're looking for. Okay, so SEO for your homepage. SEO for homepages, it doesn't matter what platform you build on, whether it's WordPress or Wix or Squarespace or Shopify, it is very, very much the same. And tip number one I'm going to give today is my most important tip, which is load speed. Now, you probably have heard other people talk about load speed recently, but we have seen about 15% of SEO increased based on increasing the load speed of a website by 1 or 2 seconds. What matters the most is the mobile load speed of your website. Google really wants people's data rates to stay low. They want the page size to be small and they want it to load really, really quickly as soon as someone grabs their phone, searches, and clicks on your website. Now, a couple of the tools that I like to use pingdom.com. I also like gtmetrics.com. They're free tools. Now, these are ones that you can go, they can just run your website and get a baseline of where you're at now. It'll help you to understand if load speed is an issue today, and if it is, then you can start to make those changes to make it load faster. And sometimes it's as simple as just changing your hosting or lowering the size of some of the pictures on your homepage. Use the tools, run them, test them out. It's going to make a difference. You could see a big boost just with that one thing. Tip number 2, and this is one that I'm willing to bet most of you don't have, even though you probably know you should. Have 500 words of text on your homepage. Now, it's very hard to do. 500 words of text is a significant amount of text, but if you are a local business or if you're working for local businesses and trying to increase them in a specific region, that text is going to provide context to the homepage and context to what that brand, what that website is about. Put 500 words of text related to those products, services, make them keyword rich for the types of anchor text that you're making in the backlinks that are getting created. And it will see a huge boost right off the bat as soon as you put those words on the page. You may have to redo the design, you may need to move things around, but it's definitely worth it. Tip number 3, meta descriptions. Now again, you guys have probably heard of meta descriptions before. You guys have probably implemented them on your site. If you're using a Wix or a Squarespace, you can find it in the SEO settings. On WordPress, you can implement Yoast or one of the plugins that are out there to help you make those meta descriptions specific for every page. Make them specific for every page. Now, if you don't know what a meta description is, I'll just take a quick second. I'm just going to search Apple here. Boom. As soon as Apple comes up, Apple's meta description is just under the page title right here where it says the new iPad Pro and MacBook Air plus iPhone 11, Apple Watch, AirPods, and more. Shop now, free delivery. That's their meta description. That is telling the search engines what Apple is all about right now. Meta descriptions are not something that stay static. They do evolve over time. They evolve as search engines change their algorithms and how your business evolves and changes. If you get new products, get them into that meta description. Think about what you want the search engines to see from your site, and specifically for the homepage, which is what this is all about. Focus on what your core services are or your core products are. That's going to help you appear higher right off the bat. And one pro tip there, if your meta description also is in that 500 words of text that I was talking about, and there's a close relation between the two, that's going to give you an extra star and it's going to push you up higher. All right, guys, tip number 4, context. I have talked about context in a couple other of my videos, and for good reason. Old Theory would have a ton of words packed into that homepage, hidden sometimes behind alt text. And that Old Theory, if you had an old SEO service or you're researching a couple years ago, that worked then, it doesn't work now. It's actually dinging you now. You're actually losing a star now. What you need to do is you need to put context so the screen readers know exactly what that website and what that page and those pictures are about. So for example, I'm going to draw out a picture here. Here's a picture of grass with the sunset behind it. Now, fantastic, you're selling lawn fertilizer. Now, the old theory would have had you talking about your production process and you talking about the different pages and the different types of fertilizer and everything behind that picture. But now you are going to just talk about what that picture is about. So for example, sunset photo of grass that has been treated with JV fertilizer. That would be the alt text. That's what the screen reader would look at. And that's what the picture is about. Don't go more beyond that. It is going to help you provide more context to your page and adhere to the newest revisions to the search engine algorithms. Now, the last tip, tip number 5, is responsiveness. Now, I'm going to take this a little bit more technical than some of the other responsive email YouTube videos that you may have watched. When I talk about responsiveness, I'm talking about two things. I'm talking about having a desktop version of your website that's 1920 by 1080, 1080p for that top resolution. We don't go to 4K yet. 1080p is plenty enough for your highest responsive option. After that, you have to think about the phones, and in between, you have to think about the iPad so that each of those devices can see your website. They load quickly, and it's responsive to that size for the design of your site. Now, most website builders right now, if you're using a DIY platform like Wix, you're gonna have to go and make your desktop version. Then you're also gonna have to go and click that little tab at the top and make the mobile version. Squarespace is responsive. Shopify is responsive. WordPress, a lot of the templates that you're gonna find now, we sometimes will look for templates on Envato Elements. It's a fantastic place to find some of them, but there's so many places to find templates, and a lot of them are responsive. If you have a website right now that's not responsive, all of the other tips I talked about today are not going to help you. Having a responsive website has got to be number 1. Number 2 is going to have to be that load speed, and then everything else in between is about you creating good, valuable content, creating that context. Man, I don't know if I crushed that last example, but I still have fun in this episode, and I think I provided you guys with a little bit of value. If you're doing SEO for your homepage, follow those 5 things. There's also a ton of other videos that I'm putting on my channel that's going through more advanced and intermediate SEO tips. That's it for this episode. If you guys have any other comments, or if you have any other ideas of types of videos or SEO videos you want to see me do, make sure you put them in the comments below. And as always, guys, I really, really hope to see you guys in the next episode. That's all for now.